pursue this planning application?
Here we have an application submitted by Austin Hatchery and Farms Limited, and it's an official plan amendment and a zoning bylaw amendment. And it affects lands at 8623 Townsend Line, which is just on the east side of Arcona. The application is to allow the owners to sever a second dwelling on the property and convey it away as it is access to their needs on the farm. Part of the issue with this particular property is more than half of it is located in Warwick, not in Lambton Shores. It also, if council will recall, provincial policy says that you can get rid of an excess farm dwelling if it is the result of a farm consolidation. So this particular application is not the result of a farm consolidation. What has happened here is Austin Hatchery, the original owner, Wayne Hodgins, has retired, sold his quota on chickens, and the chicken operation is no longer being operated on the farm and hasn't been for a number of years. The building that's being proposed to be severed actually was part of the hatchery at one time, but was converted to a residence quite a number of years ago. I think, in fact, just before I started here, so that's 8 years ago. This land's been subject to a number of consent applications and planning applications to sever off that residential dwelling. The holdback has always been the MDS separation distance to chicken barns or animal operations. We have just recently dealt with a number of other applications similar to this where there were large animal operations either on the proposed severed parcel for the excess farm dwelling or immediately adjacent to them that were no longer used for animal operations. So what council did in their approval was rezone the remnant farm parcel and those large buildings not to be allowed to be used for animal operations. It's difficult here to do that because we don't have control over all of the barns. So I consulted with the planner for Warwick, and he advised, and you'll see that in my report, that in fact their zoning already restricts animal operations in those existing barns. That's one good thing. I think that the intent of the provincial policy is being met by this proposed severance. There are 2 farm dwellings. The farm does not need 2 farm dwellings anymore. There's a small farming operation there that's being operated by the son. Of course, we're in the area of the municipality that this land is not serviced by sewers, so they're on septic system. They do have municipal water, but the lot is very small, 0.3 hectares, and they have not done a septic assessment report, so we can determine if 0.3 hectares is going to be sufficient to accommodate a septic system on that type of soil. So I'm recommending to council that we table this application so they can have a septic assessment done, and then I'll bring that back to council and we can discuss that. I did advise Mr. Walden, who is the solicitor for the applicants, and he has agreed that it can be tabled and he will have that work done.
Okay, but we'll continue with the public meeting.
Yes.
Before council had any questions, any member of the public here to speak to this planning application? Anyone from the public to speak to the planning application? Okay, questions of council? Councilor Russell?
Through you, Guy. When it says septic here, are we talking too far away from the actual sewage line? I would assume on this one, I don't assume, but
yeah, it doesn't come that far, no.
Okay,
correct. Yes. Yeah. It's just past Ann Street there, I believe, is where the end of it is. We're a lot further out at the other side of Arcona than we are at this side. Certainly, if it becomes a problem, it's something we can look at and try and cost out for them so they can balance out.
Okay. So the recommendation is for tabling this
discussion of the report 8.19 regarding the working group. Have I got the right number? 8.10.
We're moving that we receive this and
We're discussing all of this later on in the
later
agenda.
on in the report. Seconder for that? Deputy Mayor Day? All in favor of that? Carried. 7.4, this is a letter from John Ramage, concerned with cell service and emergency response at Armstrong West. Received this letter and brought it to the attention of council. Deputy Mayor Day?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we refer this to staff, so that they could prepare a report on the emergency services on Armstrong East and West, and whether there should be some additional information that should be given to the people through signage, through letters, or in some other form.
Just get an update on the emergency procedures. Second, Councillor Scott. Questions? All in favor of that? Carried. Thank you. We have minutes. 8.1. Minutes, Kettle Point 1. April 13th. Cook. Deputy Mayor Day, seconded. All in favor of that? Carried. Minutes of the fire board meeting on May 17th. Councillor Cook. Okay, minutes. Seconded. Councillor Scott. Questions on the fire board minutes? All in favor? Carried. 8.3, Atlantic Shores Accessibility Committee meeting on May 23rd. Minutes. Okay. And through those minutes, the recommendations of plan.
Yes. Yes, we approve the plan next time.
Next. That's part of the minutes, so.
Yes, 5 minutes.
Okay. Seconder for that? Councilor Bonsteel? Questions on those minutes? All in favor? Carried. 8.4, at this time I'll declare a conflict and turn the meeting over to Deputy Mayor Day. Come and get us.
Okay, sir. Okay, great. With regards to this report from our CEO, what council like to handle?
Yeah, just to get an update from staff and just a couple of questions about the dollars. I guess the first question is, we know we have to pay $3,500 now, and then any idea, is there any guesstimate of the cost of this?
This is a broader issue. It does involve the Beach Pines Association as well. This component was really related only to Huron Woods and the legal work that was involved in them ensuring themselves that their deeded access rights to the beach were protected. So Barry Scott, who is our legal advisor with respect to this issue, had dialogue with the solicitor for Huron Woods and worked through and responded to the questions that Huron Woods asked in regard to this agreement. So there was an understanding early on in the discussions with Huron Woods that they wanted those assurances that their legal rights wouldn't go by the bottom in this agreement. We understood that this was that the municipality should underwrite their costs because it was something that was, they already have these rights. And they were consenting to moving forward with the other components of the agreement, just with the reassurances that they were being protected.